Anyone else joining or just both of us?
No, it'll be just two of us.
Okay.
All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the live stream. So, today we'll be addressing two major topics. First one is immigration, and second one is about gun rights. These are the most contentious issues, and people seem to have a very visceral reaction to it. But we'll try to rebut it and show how it is in the best interest of everyone to be in favor of both these policies. First of all, let me address the topic of the hour, immigration, for which crooked nationalists are trying to corner us. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट मी मेक दिस क्लियर कि आप सोचते हो कि मेरे को अगर बांग्लादेशी इमिग्रेंट्स की सच्चाई नहीं पता तो आप बिल्कुल डिल्यूजन में रह रहे हो. आई एम वेरी रियली क्लियर अबाउट द सिचुएशन दैट दे आर डूइंग. सेकेंडली, आई एम रियली अवेयर कि भाई हाउ इस्लामिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस फंक्शन है एंड हाउ दे रेडिकलाइज एंड हाउ दे टेक ओवर कंट्रीज एंड हाउ दे इन्फ्लुएंस देयर पॉलिटिक्स एंड डेमोग्राफिक्स. आई एम अवेयर ऑफ दैट. ठीक है, तो इस बारे में कि सोच रहे हो कि भाई कोई नाइव बंदे हैं, ये कोई लिप्टार्ड्स घूम रहे हैं, ये आपकी सारी एजम्पशन बिल्कुल गलत है. ठीक है. दूसरी बात, मैंने बिल्कुल क्लियर बोला था कि भाई वी आर अगेंस्ट इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स. इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स हमने बिल्कुल क्लियरली बोला है कि वी वांट इमिग्रेंट्स हु आर वेटेड एंड कम इन लीगली. अब बांग्लादेश में अगर कोई टॉप नॉच इंजीनियर है, अगर वो इंडिया में अगर उसको किसी फॉर्म में उसको ज़रूरत है तो ही इज़ इन्वाइटेड. यू ऑल आर बंच ऑफ इडियट्स हु थिंक कि भाई बांग्लादेश में सारे के सारे ही क्रिमिनल्स हैं एंड देयर शुड बी जीरो इमिग्रेशन फ्रॉम बांग्लादेश. What I said was कि भाई easy immigration for those who are vetted and those who are needed. ठीक है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वी नीड माइग्रेंट लेबर्स फ्रॉम बांग्लादेश, ये मैंने नहीं कहा. ठीक है, ये आपकी एजम्पशन है जो कि आपके नेशनलिस्ट और बीजेपी टार्ड्स ने आपको बताई है. मैंने इस बारे में कुछ बात नहीं करी है. ठीक है, और दूसरी बात ये कि हमें इतना कॉर्नर किया जाए इस बारे में. बीजेपी को 11 साल हो गए, क्या किया उन्होंने तक इमिग्रेशन के बारे में? उनकी तो गवर्नमेंट सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में भी है, उनकी गवर्नमेंट स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में भी है. एनआरसी के नाम पे आप कुछ भी करे जाओगे. डिपोर्ट करें वो इमिग्रेंट्स, कांग्रेस के इमिग्रेंट्स डिपोर्ट करें. बीजेपी के नंबर्स कांग्रेस से कम है, तो इससे क्या पता चलता है कि बीजेपी कम नेशनलिस्ट है कांग्रेस से? ये आपकी सारी बकवास है. आप अपने बिगेटरी शो करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो. कोई भी अगर बांग्लादेश में पैदा हुआ है तो वो बाय डिफॉल्ट क्रिमिनल है या फिर ऐसा कुछ है. ठीक है, और जहाँ तक बात है उसकी कि भाई मैं आपको रियलिटी बताता हूँ कि मैं अपनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग समझाता हूँ कि भाई मेरी क्या अंडरस्टैंडिंग है सारे इशू को लेकर. होता क्या है, इमिग्रेशन आती है वहाँ से इस्लामिक कंट्रीज से. उसके बाद फिर क्या होता है, उनके वो पहले ठीक होता है, फिर वहाँ से उनके इंस्टीट्यूशन आने शुरू हो जाते हैं जो कि होते हैं, जिसमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है मदरसा. वहाँ पे आ जाते हैं फिर उनके मौलवी जो कि अपना उनको रेडिकलाइज करना शुरू करते हैं. ठीक है, तो लिबर्टेरियन पॉलिसी में बिल्कुल क्लियर है, नो टॉलरेंस ऑफ द इंटॉलरेंट. हूएवर विल बी, और नो टॉलरेंस ऑफ द इंटॉलरेंट का मतलब क्या है? नो टॉलरेंस ऑफ द इंटॉलरेंट का मतलब ये है, हूएवर इज ट्राइंग टू प्रीच हेट बट इज नॉट रेडी फॉर रिटेलिएशन, ही क्वालिफाइज एज इंटॉलरेंट. कि भाई यू आर नॉट रेडी टू हैव अ हेल्दी डिबेट. ठीक है, अब हेट स्पीच बहुत ही सब्जेक्टिव चीज़ है, मगर अगर आप किसी को मारना चाहते हो और आप रिटेलिएशन के लिए तैयार नहीं हो तो, और आप स्टेट की हेल्प ले रहे हो उसके लिए अपने आप को बचाने के लिए, तो आप यू क्वालिफाई एज बिगेट एंड अ हेट स्पीच पर्सन हु इज इनटॉलरेंट ऑफ द टॉलरेंट. और एक एज कार्ल पॉपर सेड के अ सिविलाइज सोसाइटी, अ टॉलरेंट सोसाइटी कैन नॉट टॉलरेट द इंटॉलरेंट. ये एक पैराडॉक्स है बट दिस नीड टू बी फॉलोड. और लिबर्टेरियंस आर इन फुल फेवर ऑफ अ लिबरल सोसाइटी वेयर देर विल बी नो टॉलरेंस ऑफ द इंटॉलरेंट. और इसलिए सिर्फ इस्लामिस्ट क्वालिफाई नहीं करते, इसमें कम्युनिस्ट भी क्वालिफाई करते हैं, इसमें कोई कास्ट सोविनिस्ट भी क्वालिफाई करते हैं. दे डोंट डिजर्व सिविल लिबर्टीज बिकॉज दे डोंट विश सिविल लिबर्टीज ऑन अदर्स. ठीक है, तो आप में से कोई भी खुद को अगर सूडो लिबर्टेरियन समझ रहा है, और इफ यू आर नॉट रेडी फॉर हेल्दी डिस्कोर्स विद अदर, यू आर नॉट अ लिबर्टेरियन. यू डोंट डिजर्व टू बी इन अ लिबरल सोसाइटी एंड वी आर अगेंस्ट यू. ऑलराइट, हम कोई नाइव नहीं घूम रहे, फ्लावर चिल्ड्रन नहीं घूम रहे हम कि आप आओगे और उसके बाद फिर आप कि आ जाओ और हमें मार के चले जाओ और हम आपको एक्सेप्ट कर लेंगे. वी आर कम्प्लीटली इन फेवर ऑफ अ लिबरल सोसाइटी जहाँ पे ह्यूमन राइट्स आर रिस्पेक्टेड, प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स आर रिस्पेक्टेड, ईच वन डिफरेंसेस आर सॉल्व थ्रू डायलॉग नॉट वायलेंस. ठीक है, आप अपनी एजम्पशन फैला रहे हो कि भाई नहीं, दे आर थिंकिंग कि ये इमिग्रेंट्स को लाना चाहते हैं, दे वांट टू चेंज द डेमोग्राफी. सर बकवास. व्हाट वी आर सेइंग इज कि अगर कोई आना चाहता है, ही हैज़ टू कम इन लीगली, लीगल तरीके से आना चाहिए. और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की भी यही स्टेटमेंट है, बीजेपी की भी यही स्टेटमेंट है, ही हैज़ टू कम इन ईगली. आप इजीली पे करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, इजीली पे कॉर्नर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, उसका कोई सेंस नहीं बनता. ठीक है, इजीली क्या, इजीली का मतलब ये है कि इसको ब्यूरोक्रेटिक हेसल्स ना झेलनी पड़े. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि इसको प्रोसेस फॉलो ना करना पड़े. आपने इस इशू को इतना बड़ा बना के सिर्फ अपनी इग्नोरेंस और अपना जिनोफोबिया दिखाया, उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं दिखाया. ठीक है, हम अभी भी, मैं बार बार यही रिपीट कर रहा हूँ, वी आर इन फेवर ऑफ सिक्योर बॉर्डर. आपको पता है बॉर्डर पे कितनी करप्शन है? बॉर्डर पे इतनी ज़्यादा करप्शन है, मेरे सामने सामने अगर आप मेघालय बॉर्डर पे चले जाओ, आपको सामने सामने शुगर केन स्मगल होते शुगर स्मगल होती हुई दिखेगी. ठीक है, वहाँ पे और बीएसएफ का गार्ड 100 मीटर दूर होगा वहाँ पे. कोई बात करेगा उसके बारे में? अभी 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 वहाँ पे इतने सारे ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग चलती है, उसके बारे में कोई कुछ क्यों नहीं बोलता? नहीं, आपको तो किसी इमेजिनरी बांग्लादेशी से दिक्कत है यू हैव नेवर मेट, ठीक है? दिस इज शोइंग यू आर कंप्लीटली अ बिगेटेड पर्सन हु इज ट्राइंग टू यूज हिज वेंडेटा अगेंस्ट पीपल हु यू हैव नेवर मेट. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि दोज हु आर illegal don't deserve to be deported, but you are putting our hate on us, which we completely don't deserve. We are in full favor of law and order. Law of the land should be respected. Illegals should be deported. Borders should be secure, and we need to deport the illegal immigrants. We need to deport the illegal immigrants. इसको मैं कितनी बार एम्फोसाइज करूं, आपको दिमाग में घुसेगा कि नहीं, मगर आप हेटफुल प्रोपेगेंडा फैलाते ही रहोगे. क्यों? क्योंकि यू आर मोर इंटरेस्टेड इन कीपिंग इंडिया डाउन, कीपिंग इंडिया हॉस्टेज टू सोशलिस्ट पार्टीज, जो हर वक्त illegal immigrants का बहाना यूज करके they try to peddle socialism, they try to peddle private sector reservation, they try to peddle caste politics, any way to keep the people divided, raise their taxes and keep looting for them. Your hate is unwanted, and whoever disagrees that there should be legal immigration in the country, यू आर हिपोक्रेट, बिकॉज आपके कोई ना कोई रिलेटिव पक्का है जो दूसरी कंट्रीज में इमिग्रेंट बन के गए हैं, और आप चाहते हो कि उनको सेम ही ट्रीटमेंट मिले जैसे आप दूसरों से एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो. तो आपकी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की प्रॉब्लम को आप, जो पुअर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर है, जो आपका पुलिस में घूस खाता है उसको काम करने देने के लिए, जो आपका बीएसएफ का जो वहाँ पे बीएसएफ का जो ऑफिसर है जो उस पर ध्यान नहीं देता कि भाई अपना वहाँ पे क्या चल रहा है और कैसे बॉर्डर से कैसे एंटर कर रहे हैं, उसको अकाउंटेबल रखने के बजाय आप हमें कह रहे हो कुछ. हमने तो अपने स्टांस बिल्कुल क्लियर कर दिया है, मगर आप लगे हुए हो कि नहीं नहीं नहीं, दे आर ट्राइंग टू से समथिंग, दे आर स्नीकी, दे आर वो. बकवास, मेरी बकवास कर रहे हो आप, ठीक है? हमने बिल्कुल क्लियर कर दिया है. और दिस इज अ नॉनसेंस इशू. एक 2800 पर कैपिटल डॉलर जीडीपी वाली कंट्री को इतनी सिली इश्यूज के बारे में सोचने की जरूरत भी नहीं है. अगर आपका बॉर्डर सिक्योर होता और अगर आपका लॉ एंड ऑर्डर प्रॉपरली फंक्शन कर रहा होता तो आपको इन प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में सोचने की जरूरत भी नहीं थी, मगर आप उसमें इंटरेस्टेड नहीं हो. आप इसमें इंटरेस्टेड नहीं हो भी कैसे इस्लामिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस में कैसे हेट स्पीच फैलाई जाती है और उसके बाद फिर उनको कोई पुश बैक नहीं मिलता. आप उसमें इंटरेस्टेड नहीं हो कि भाई ब्लास्फेमी लॉज को रिमूव किया जाए क्योंकि वो एक पर्टिकुलर माइनॉरिटी को प्रोटेक्ट कर रहे हैं. आप उसमें इंटरेस्टेड नहीं हो. आप इंटरेस्टेड इसमें हो कि दोज हु आर थिंकिंग इन फेवर ऑफ अस एज अ पीपल टुगेदर, आप उसमें इंटरेस्टेड हो कि भाई क्यों सोच रहे हैं उसके बारे में. और मेरी क्लोजिंग स्टेटमेंट यही है कि भाई मैं कोई स्टांस चेंज नहीं हुआ. आई एम कंप्लीटली क्लियर. सिक्योर बॉर्डर्स, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, लीगल इमिग्रेशन विद वेटिंग एंड डिपोर्टेशन ऑफ इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स.
Yeah. You're done, Tushar?
Yeah.
Okay, great. See, thinking about immigration, it is a very contentious topic because there are a lot of emotions about immigration, and a lot of them are largely bogeymans. But let us talk about what libertarianism says about immigration in general. So libertarians are for we believe in individual liberty and economic freedom, and a part of that is we believe in the free movement of people and of goods and capital. But that being said, we know that we have some practical realities that we are not an island somewhere in Australia or something. So we are surrounded by some hostile states, and we have a lot of history because of which there are genuine security threats coming from across the borders. So what our policy is that we believe that immigration policies should be rooted firmly in individual liberty, economic practicality, minimum government interference, and they should be balanced effectively with genuine security concerns. So at no point have we ever said that it doesn't matter, just like let whoever just cross across the border. I mean, we are not there yet. I mean, we are not in a society where people can actually handle that. We have a state whose responsibility is currently to protect against enemies external and maintain law and order within the country. So in the scope of that responsibility, it is the state's job to screen out any security risk that is coming from outside the border. If somebody is a member of a radical terrorist group or something and they want to come into the country or they have a criminal record, you obviously have to stop them. And it is not that some people say why should we let any Bangladeshi come in, but you're talking as if libertarians are coming and proposing something really radical. You do know that the Indian government actually gives visas to Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, every single country on the planet. We do not deny visas to people of any country. And before you give a visa, there is a process. The process is submit your document, show why you are here. And that is the same process. What we are saying is we believe that this whole illegal immigration process is a manufactured crisis because of previous bad government policies that have happened for decades. Now, if somebody wants to come to the country and work, it could be a Bangladeshi, it could be a Japanese guy, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. You just vet them for security checks. If they're clean, they get a green channel, you send them in. And when we say easy immigration, we means that don't harass them with bureaucracy. Like, you know how difficult it is to get even a single license there. If you are going to do the same thing, and it is always the problem here is that there is a company that wants to hire a certain worker, they should be allowed to come in and work. Now, if people just want to come in and squat on random land and live off welfare, that's a different issue that obviously we do not support. First of all, we do not support welfare of any kind. But okay, let's just still, that we do have some sort of a welfare, and the immigrants come and eat into the welfare. That is a valid argument. Now the question is, what has the government done about it? Now, the BJP government itself has criticized Aadhaar before 2012. It said, this is a scheme just to, legalize all the illegal immigrants here. And UIDAI is a central government authority, and Aadhaar cards are being given to every single illegal immigrant. I don't know what sort of verification they're supposed to be doing, because when you want to change an address, they'll ask you for 100 proofs. But all these people, illegal immigrants, are found with actual Aadhaar cards. Now, the question to all the people, and especially
इसके बारे में कोई बात क्यों नहीं कर रहा है?
Yeah, nobody is talking about it. Like, there are people found even with passports. Now, passport comes under which department? It is under the Home Ministry. And who is heading the Home Ministry? It is supposed to be one of the greatest people, Mr. Amit Shah, right? And all the BJP people keep posting about him. Why are these people able to get passports? Why are they getting Aadhaar card? It's been 11 years. What has the BJP done about this? Instead of that, they are picking on a principled position about free movement of goods and people. And, even though we have mentioned clearly that, we want them to vet for security risk. The problem is most of these people basically have this position that everybody in Bangladesh is basically a radical fanatic, and we should not let any Bangladeshi come into the country. And that is basically what is showing in their policy. And two, obviously, they're obviously pissed.
Tell me, अगर ऐसा होता, गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसी ऐसे होती कि भाई we want zero immigrants and we go against it.
Yeah, I mean, zero immigration is really bad for the country. You need people coming from everywhere else. And see, we don't know, right? And a lot of people keep asking me, what is the need for a Bangladeshi worker to come here when there are so many people? Now, you ask yourself, why would anybody even with half a brain, want to hire a Bangladeshi immigrant coming from somewhere else if he finds a domestic worker at the same price point? So either one of two things: that guy has a skill that is not currently available in the labor market, or two, he's working at a price which the local market is not able to work. And that happens not just across countries, but also happens within our states. Why do people from Bihar go all the way to Kerala and work in construction sites? Sometimes there's shortage of labor, and they go to other states also. Sometimes the local labor is very expensive. So people get people from outside, and end of the day, we are looking at also economic efficiency. And the argument is these people are creating riots and all. I'm saying, okay, but we spend a lot of money on defense, on the budget, intelligence, whatnot, so many agencies. So what are they actually doing about it? If there are actually people who are spreading terrorist ideas or something, what is the government actually doing about those people? All they say is get on the mic and just create saying illegal Bangladeshis are coming in. What have they actually done to actually address any? Yeah, what have they done?
We have proposed we want advanced technology for border surveillance.
We mentioned we want drones. No, we want drones. I mean, we know that people are obviously corrupt at this thing. So you want to eliminate it. You want better technology. We are all for that. In fact, it's probably going to reduce costs. And, with better technology, it's going to be more effective. And the thing is, see, if somebody wants to come into the country to do something really bad, they're definitely going to sneak across the border. But if you give legitimate workers a way to come and work in the country, they'll just go through the legal process, right?
मैं सबको रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि भाई आप गूगल मैप्स पे जाओ and check the border and see if it's fully secure or not. You will be amazed that it is not fully secure, and smuggling happens all the time.
Yeah, smuggling happens both ways also. Sometimes, goods, people come from there, and, a lot of cattle actually smuggled across the border there. How with all this happening? I mean, it's not like some small thing that you can smuggle, right? This is happening in large quantities. So what are these people doing? And who controls the border security force? That's also under the Home Ministry of Home Affairs, right? So these guys are not doing their job. And Instead,
आपने
there are,
एनालाइज आपने या आपकी अनरियलिस्टिक एक्सपेक्टेशंस है कि भाई अपना वी वांट जीरो डे इलीगल इमिग्रेशन, ये नेशनल पॉलिसी नहीं हो सकती। अगर कोई
yeah,
पार्टी
no,
इसको
no.
प्रमोट कर रही है, दे आर गोइंग अगेंस्ट इंटरनेशनल रूल्स।
Yeah, I mean, no country basically says, we don't want any immigration. Maybe, I don't know if North Korea does. I mean, North Korea is probably the other way. They don't want anybody to leave. And if you go, you're not coming out. But it's absolutely ridiculous. And the other point a lot of people have raised today is, Bangladeshis are just flooding into the country. They're changing the demographics and they will vote and vote for the radical Islamist guys and make
ये
India
बिल्कुल ये बिल्कुल ये बिल्कुल
absolutely
लेजिट
nonsense.
कंसर्न, नहीं ये बिल्कुल
But
लेजिट
what?
कंसर्न है कि
True.
डेमोग्राफिक चेंज इज अ लेजिट कंसर्न, बिल्कुल ये
Yes. But
हम इसको
no,
बिल्कुल
no,
एग्री
no,
करते
no.
हैं कि लेजिट
No.
कंसर्न है।
But why is that happening? Why are illegal immigrants getting voting cards?
वही
Now,
वही वही
central
दैट्स अ लॉ
government
एंड
again
ऑर्डर,
can't.
दैट्स अ लॉ
Yeah,
एंड ऑर्डर प्रॉब्लम।
absolutely. And what has the BJP done in the last 11 years?
Or
How
any of the
many?
parties have done. Any of the parties have done. BJP
Yeah.
groups, any of the why
No,
should we
no,
target
we.
BJP? Any of the
No,
parties,
huh.
क्या ये है?
See, it has happened under Congress. It is happening under BJP, and we know that TMC actively encourages this stuff. Now the point is, instead of talking what you guys have done in all the previous parties, which have worked for like decades, what have they done? And you are saying that an immigrant. See, Indians go to US on H-1B visas. They are not gonna vote and start, saying that tomorrow we are gonna change like a different sort of a politics. Only citizens can vote. We are not saying that, and Gulf countries have like almost 70-80% immigrant population, and it doesn't create a problem there. Why? Because again, they are not allowed any voting rights. They are just work. They have a work permits and they can live there for 20 years. It will be a work permit. So we are proposing the same thing. Just let give people the work permits. They'll come work. They'll go back whenever labor is needed in the country, wherever the industry or the economy demands it. We'll be more responsive to that, and that is what is important, to have actually a very dynamic and efficient economy, because you can't have a central planner saying that you just hire people only from here, this is the way that they'll work, you have to do it. It is nature of business to look for cheaper alternatives both in production, human capital, everything. And sometimes it is also possible that there might be some sort of skills that are available in abundance in a certain country population. Tomorrow we might need people from, and we already
आपको
have like a very free immigration from Nepal, right? So we already have a lot of Nepalis who keep coming, working, and
क्या
going. It's so if you are against immigration, then you're saying Bangladesh is somehow uniquely evil. All the people Bangladeshis are uniquely evil. I think it's just bigotry. We recognize that radical Islam is a problem, but the solutions we have proposed is do a background verification check and allow it. And yeah, as you said, if they're saying that no Bangladeshi should ever come into the country, it's unrealistic. And even today, not BJP is saying, why is BJP still, they'll still give visas to Bangladeshis right now. They're giving visas to Pakistanis right now. Forget Bangladeshis, Pakistanis right now, because that is the
या
normal
अभी
policy that if any country has. You apply for a visa, you do your background check, you get in. That's it. Same thing we are saying for workers also. Don't take that like for like 100 days. Do it quickly. Check all the documents, whatever, and register them. Get the biometrics. So find out where they're staying, which employer they're working. You have all the records, and that's what more do you need than that? It's so simple that.
और सब कुछ some are saying कि भाई अपना why are you talking about this? Because we are a party of principles and we won't lie to you. We are completely
Absolutely.
clear. Our statement would change not even now, not any today, not 50 years from now, not 100 years from now. Our policies are consistent. Our stances and principles are clear. कि हमारी changes नहीं होने वाले, और ये हम we are not populists के who just talk and do whatever they want. नहीं. We
Yeah, I
have
mean,
we have clear objectives. We want a free society, and anyone who is a free enemy of free society is an enemy for us.
yeah, and the other thing is, it is actually sad because these are the same people who say you can't trust the politicians because they'll say whatever the people want to hear. They'll say whatever is convenient. They don't have any conviction. Today, BJP will say we are for reservation. Tomorrow, if the climate changes, they'll change it. And people are saying you should be politically pragmatic, but we don't want to be, because that has actually been the problem that we have seen for the last 60, 70 years. We are clearly defining our principles, what they are. We are clear on immigration, we are clear on free trade, we are clear on taxes. And the thing is, the policy is pretty much going to be the same, because we are deriving this not from political expediency, but we are deriving these from first principles, that you have individual rights, property rights. Do not judge an entire group of people based on something. Judge the individual, and all policies have to be tailored accordingly.
Yeah, definitely. और कम्युनिस्ट के साथ हमारे कंपैरिजन, मतलब
I
कितना कितना लो आईक्यू हो सकता है अगर आप, इफ यू आर कंपेयरिंग अस विद कम्युनिस्ट.
No, I mean, yeah, it's actually ridiculous because they're the polar opposite of what we are. We believe in absolute property rights, and communists believe that there are no property rights, everything just belongs to the state, right? So they want the state to control everything. And in fact, it is unfortunate that a lot of people who've been
Or,
commenting
or
also
most
want the state to
important,
control so many
yeah,
things.
and most importantly, communists are the one who led the illegal immigrants in West Bengal.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean all these political parties, and it is pretty funny that these guys are picking on us. But I do understand why some of them are actually doing it because
Up,
they think that our
up,
ideas appeal to some
yeah,
people, and they're worried about that their vote share being diverted. But I think it is it if you and a lot of people saying why are you not pro India? And I'm saying there is no political party in the country that is more pro India than us because our policies are the one which will make our country prosperous, and it's not
yeah,
this regulation, the taxes, or government is deciding what your AC temperature should be at. Now is that the purpose or the role of a government to determine whether your
yeah,
horn should sound like a
yeah,
musical
yeah.
instrument,
That's nas-
or
nationalism.
that is nationalism? And okay, it is fine. What happens, you do one PR campaign, say Pakistan this, Bangladesh that, curse them, but where are the actual policies that bring prosperity? Okay, these are not the ones that do it, and it is sad that the debate is actually getting hijacked towards that, and it is for the detriment of the whole country. A lot of people saying we are nationalists. Okay, what do you even mean by that? First define what you
Dude,
actually mean.
yeah, you are just using nationalism to spread the vague ideas that you have. You are just trying to be a dictator. Okay?
Yeah.
You are not principled. Nationalism is a vague term. Libertarianism is a clear philosophy, right?
Yes.
It has clear principles: individual liberty, life, property.
Yeah. So a lot of people, there's somebody who's even been trying to say, what, that is actually what nationalism is. And it is absolute bullshit because in nowhere, nobody has ever defined nationalism as the love of life, liberty, and property. So, we are getting a lot of trolls and obviously people who are not
Yeah,
serious.
and I don't care. How
We don't
you
either.
are going to get, you have no option. You are going to get swindled by BJP or whatever party you want, because they have been fooling you for 11 years, and others have been fooling you for decades, and they will continue to do so. हमारे पास ही solutions हैं, and we are the only one who is really interested on the welfare of the people and don't care about getting elected in power and speak the truth. ठीक, आप अगर नहीं अग्री करते, इट्स योर प्रेरोगेटिव, फ्री फ्री सोसाइटी है, यू कैन डू वट एवर यू वांट. आप हमें डेथ थ्रेट्स दो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. आप हमारे अगेंस्ट टेररिस्ट अटैक्स बुलाओ, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. आपकी फ्री स्पीच है वो, हम कुछ नहीं करेंगे उसके बारे में. मगर आप सोच लो, आप जिस सिस्टम में रह रहे हो, अगर आपके खिलाफ कोई सेम चीज करता है, यू विल हैव सिवियर कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज. तो आप सोच लो आपकी हु डू यू वांट टू चूज, कि भाई यू वांट पीपल हु बिलीव इन फ्रीडम और पीपल हु बिलीव इन डिक्टेटरशिप. आपकी चॉइस बिल्कुल क्लियर है, एंड दे आर कमिंग फॉर योर एसीज, they are coming after your money, they are coming
They're
after
coming
your
after your
savings.
cars. They're
Yeah, they
saying,
are coming after your car, they are coming after your car, they are coming after your property, they are coming after your savings, they are coming after your children. Because अब TFR अगर आपने चेक किया हो तो TFR 1.9 पे आ चुका है, and country is now in a population decline stage.
and the government in certain states is still funding population family planning, and all these hysterectomies, and a lot of vasectomies. The government is actually sponsoring it, so you are already having states which are below fertility level, but the government is still funding that, so you are actually destroying the society. And these are the exact governments that you elected, and it's funny because these parties, like you see like how many people are dying in falling from, like 7 people every day die falling from local trains in Bombay, and or
Yeah,
probably it's
no one
more
seems
than.
to be interested in that.
And
No, first,
those are not
yeah,
the important issues. It is just like, okay, as long as in fact, if we wanted to, it would actually have been really easy because all we had to say is, we will not let a single Pakistani come into the country, a single Bangladeshi come into the country, and all these
yeah,
people would be happy, right? But we are
yeah.
only doing that because we are being true to the principles, and and
या
we are
हम
saying,
सच हम सच आप हमें इस हमारे पीछे इस वजह से पड़ रहे हो कि हम सच बोल रहे हैं, जबकि दूसरी पार्टी सेम चीज कर रही हैं और उसके एग्जैक्ट ऑपोजिट बोल रही हैं.
yeah, people are more focused on what you say than what you actually do, and
मतलब परसेप्शन परसेप्शन में ज्यादा इंटरेस्टेड हो आप रियलिटी के मुकाबले. मतलब
yeah, but
दे आर दे फूलिंग यू इज बेटर देन अस स्पीकिंग द ट्रूथ.
yeah, and everybody is like, you guys are anti-Hindu. You want to support Muslim invasion. It's so ridiculous because one of our core principles has been,
We
we are going to free Hindu temples, right? And
yes,
people still think that BJP, which hasn't done anything, and they have even, as I mentioned, couple weeks ago, they took over another temple, and these people are justifying,
yeah.
saying that temple wasn't properly managed. And but what is going to happen when the government changes tomorrow, when the Congress or some other party comes that is not really, they're going to mismanage it, and they're going to not. I mean, they previously wanted to have even Muslims on the board of your Hindu trust, right? So these are what the governments have been trying to do. And if you put all your temples in this hand, that is going to happen, and these people are still going to cry. And then they'll do a lot of cope, like no, we'll still believe in BJP. I mean, if you want to be fooled, you want to be taken for a ride, then nobody can stop. Nobody can stop anybody from doing that.
You can spread all the fake news you want. We'll stick to our principles. We are clear. We want to have legal immigration, illegals deportation, secure borders, vetting of immigrants, and law and order. Law and order. If anyone commits a crime, he should be punished. If anyone comes in legally and he commits a crime, even if he comes illegally, if he commits a crime, he should be deported. Illegals should be deported. Illegals should be sent back to their country, regardless of the country of origin. Any law that is broken, he should be sent back to for proper prosecution for his crimes. Hamara, we want a free society. A free society cannot have intolerant people, and that is our vision, and we are going to pursue it at all cost.
Yeah, and we are against, sort of a violent intolerance, be it domestic or foreign. No group of any kind, political, religious group, should be bullying other people, threatening them with violence over anything.
We are
So
we are not interested in minority appeasement like other
yeah,
parties. We are interested in individual rights.
for every single Indian, regardless of what their gender, ethnicity, religion, caste, whatever, any other arbitrary criteria, we don't care. We only care about one thing: every individual should have their life, liberty, and property rights.
Yes, and the issue relating to this. Let's. I think we have done sufficient about
Yeah.
half an hour about it. Next, go to the gun rights.
Yeah, I think, absolutely, we definitely need the right to own guns. In fact, it is unfortunate that one of the things that happened after independence was that, guns were not a part of our framework. And though the there was a Hindu version of the constitution, which was again very socialist. I think Savarkar or some of those guys actually came up with it, and that had in it a very important point that citizens should be allowed to own guns, and they should have the right to join the army. That was a very important point that was there in the Hindu constitution proposed by Savarkar, which was not there in the Indian constitution. So one thing is there that we have seen incidents that have happened in West Bengal, and we have seen incidents in Pahalgam. The fact is the government cannot protect you, and anybody who says that just let the government take care of it is absolutely being ridiculous. And history has shown us, forget worldwide, in India we have shown, when have the police ever come and stopped a crime when it was actually happening? And it's pretty much like for decades it was a meme in Hindi movies that the police will come in the end after the hero beats up all the bad guys and everything. That is when the police actually come. So that signifies what the state of the country is, and you cannot delegate your defense to somebody else. I mean, you can, but there's always a risk. So what would have happened
How
even if somebody had?
how are you self respected citizen? पहली बात अगर आपको guns की history पता होगी, Britishers were the one who took it away.
Absolutely, and Gandhi was
And
actually opposed to that.
why did they take it away? To enslave the country. 1857 की the first war of independence 1857, उसके बाद Britishers decided that we cannot have let the local populace have arms and upstage another struggle. That's why I decided कि let's take away their arms.
Yeah,
और ऐसे नहीं है कि इंडिया में किसी के पास गन्स नहीं है. The Kodava community in Kurg has the highest gun ownership and they have been given a constitutional exemption. वहां पे तो कोई लड़ाई नहीं होती. और
Yeah.
ये जो आप जो नेशनलिस्ट बने फिरते हो ना, यू आर नॉट अ नेशनलिस्ट। अगर आप दूसरे इंडियंस को अपने राइट टू सेल्फ डिफेंस के साथ ट्रस्ट नहीं करते, यू आर क्लियरली मतलब आप अपनी उसको रिफ्लेक्ट करो कि भाई आई थिंक हाईली ऑफ माई सेल्फ बट वेरी लोअली ऑफ अदर्स, एंड यू आर अ लेफ्टिस्ट हु थिंक्स ही नोज बेटर देन अदर्स एंड टेक केयर ऑफ देम बेटर देन एंड ही कैन लुक आउट आफ्टर देम बेटर देन दे कैन लुक आफ्टर देमसेल्व्स। एंड
That's a very Nehruvian mindset, actually.
yeah, we actually trust the people that they can take care of themselves. We trust that people, Indians are self-confident, Indians are intelligent, and they can take intelligent decisions. और आप अपनी बिगेटरी दिखाते हो जब आप शो करते हो कि नहीं, इन लोगों के पास नहीं होनी चाहिए, ओ ये इस रीजन से आते हैं, ओ इसके पास ये नहीं होना चाहिए, गन्स नहीं होनी चाहिए इसके पास, ओ ये क्या कर देंगे, वो क्या कर देंगे। लॉ एंड ऑर्डर के बारे में कभी बात नहीं करोगे आप। ना 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 ना, किसी के पास गन्स नहीं होनी चाहिए। क्यों? क्योंकि अपना वो कोई कहीं पे भी गोली चला देगा। लोग सिर्फ इन्हें गाड़ी चला देते हैं किसी पे भी, क्या लोग गाड़ी चलाते हैं तो उनके पास कुछ वो नहीं होता, केस नहीं होता उन पे। और अगर वो किसी के ऊपर गन्स चलाएंगे तो उनके ऊपर केस नहीं होगा। और अगर वो किसी के ऊपर नाइफ चलाते तो केस नहीं होता। इंडिया में गन वायलेंस नहीं। आपको बिहार की पॉलिटिक्स पढ़ने के, बिहार की हिस्ट्री पढ़ोगे तो आपको पता चलेगा कि जंगल राज के टाइम में पीपल टुक इट अपॉन देमसेल्व्स, वी हैव टू प्रोटेक्ट आवरसेल्व्स ऑन आवर ओन, एंड दे टुक अप आर्म्स। और इंडिया में पहले से ही 7 करोड़ गन्स हैं, ऐसा नहीं कि यहाँ पे 0 गन्स है। तो ये इंडिकेट करता है कि 7 करोड़ गन्स होने के बावजूद यहाँ पे इतनी गन वायलेंस नहीं है। तो फिर इंडियंस, हाउ इंडियंस बिहेव विद व्हेन देयर इज प्रेजेंस ऑफ गन्स। वी आर ए सिविलाइज्ड सोसाइटी। हाँ, हमारे साथ प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, मगर इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि we cannot take care of ourselves. We have been a democracy for 75 years and we will continue to be a democracy. People respect the voting system and we are civilized people. अपनी लोगों के अगेंस्ट लो ट्रस्ट दिखाना बंद करो। लॉ एंड ऑर्डर के बारे में कंप्लेंट करना शुरू करो। आप कुछ भी बोलोगे मगर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर अगेंस्ट नहीं बोलोगे। वी आर फॉर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, प्रॉपर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर। लॉ शुड बी फॉलोड।
Yeah. I mean, also the principle here is that do you have the right to take away somebody's right to self-defense? So you are saying, I'm worried that there actually might be more crime with guns, and if somebody is actually being attacked, they have no recourse to protect themselves. You are condemning somebody to death because you are worried that you will be a victim of your crime. Instead of doing what you have to do to defend yourself, you just want the government to step in, and as a result a lot of people are going to die, and you actually don't care about all the people, all those lives that could have been saved if people had a gun to defend themselves. Even Pahalgam, if some of the people actually had guns, they would have a fighting chance. Like, at least, like, even
Yeah,
the fact that
yeah.
the terrorists scouted multiple locations and they found this location didn't have any security, the remaining places had security. What is security? Basically men with guns. And they backed out from there and they attacked here. If they had guns, they would have had a fighting chance. And what did Israel do after the attack by the Hamas guys? Immediately they relaxed their gun laws, because even Israel has restrictive gun laws, and they relaxed all of them and said, it's time to give people more right to defend themselves. Why exactly? Because that when you're under attack, no government can save you. The Israeli government couldn't save all those people from getting slaughtered. They had restrictive gun laws. Now they've relaxed it and they're encouraging people to take up guns because that's the only way. And what did the Indian government do during the Naxalite threat? They actually armed people. They gave guns to some people and said, you know what, you also go and form and fight. Naturally, normally people would have actually done that. And the government also, when they are pushed into a corner, they did it. So in Manipur, they actually want to relax these rights and give people the right to own guns. And obviously, they're trying to favor one group over the other, again, typical politics. But the thing is, the government also knows and acknowledges that they can't protect everybody. And sometimes, people arming themselves is the only way. We've seen it in the 84 riots, where the police were actually complicit in the killing of 6, or they abandoned them. When people were coming to kill them, they called the police and the police just ignored them. So had they had guns, they would have defended themselves. And this is like in every riot, there were always people who were murdered who would have been saved if they had a fighting chance. Without guns, you only have to depend on numbers. And if a mob of 10 people is coming, you're 2 or 3 people, you are as good as dead. There is no way to defend yourself. Only guns can change the equation. And people who are in actually sensitive areas where they feel they're under threat by people around them will just stock up with guns, and that will keep the aggressors also worried that, I can't go and kill those people without taking the risk of dying. And most mobs, they are not attacking because they know that they'll win. When 100 people are going to mob a family of 4, they just do it carelessly because they know that they're going to take any harm or any damage in that. But if that family of four has a gun, even if these guys have a gun, one stray bullet can hit any of them, and that will give them cause to think over: is my life worth it? Do I really want to kill that guy at the cost of losing my life? And in a few fanatic instances that will happen, but for the most people in a mob are actually cowards, and which is why they start running once the gunfire comes out, because nobody wants to die. They'll just, like, if it's an easy target, they'll go after you.
या और ये जो आप ये जो सारा आप ये नेशनलिज्म का गार्ब यूज़ कर रहे हो ना, आप झूठ बोलना बंद करो, ठीक है? यू आर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू बी डिक्टेटर योरसेल्फ. आपका कोई नेशनलिज्म नहीं है. इफ़ यू आर इन द नेशनलिस्ट, यू वुड हैव बिलीव्ड इन इंडियंस. ऑलराइट, ये जो आप बकवास कर रहे हो ना कि भाई वी आर नेशनलिस्ट, वी केयर फॉर द नेशन, यू केयर फॉर द नेशन मोर देन द पीपल ऑफ द नेशन. आप नेशनलिस्ट नहीं हो. वी केयर फॉर द पीपल. We trust the
Absolutely.
people. We trust the people with the voting rights. We trust the people with the right to self-defense. You don't. You are again. You are anti-nationals. और हाँ, और
Yeah.
जहाँ तक ये बात हो रही कि why are you calling xenophobes and all, अगर आप किसी को अगर वो कोई 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 बंदा किसी जगह से आ रहा है और उसको बाय डिफॉल्ट उसके ऊपर कोई प्रिजम्पशन डाल रहे हो, एंड तो उसको वो xenophobe का ही करे, वो xenophobe की डेफिनेशन होती है. यू आर जस्ट फियरिंग समवन जस्ट बिकॉज ही हैज कम फ्रॉम अ फॉरेन लैंड. दैट्स द डेफिनेशन ऑफ xenophobia. और अगर आप जीनोफोबिक नहीं हो तो आपको डरने की जरूरत नहीं है. मे बी मैं गलत एक्यूजेशंस कर रहा हूँ आप पे, क्या पता. मगर अगर आप किसी को बाय डिफॉल्ट मान रहे हो कि वो दूसरी कंट्री से आ रहा है तो वो गलत है, तो आप जीनोफोबिक हो.
Yeah, and some of them are actually quite open and vocal about it. And we don't support that sort of bigotry, and don't judge everybody from a country. Just don't call them evil, because, and in fact, that is actually what's happening right now in the US. Is they're calling everybody from Indians as, these guys are corrupt, this, that, and 100 things. They're saying, these guys are not good enough to integrate into our society. We are some superior race. So same sort of bullshit they're doing. They'll say, why look at India? It is so pathetic. If these guys really had any talent, why is their country like that? And pretty much stupid arguments like that are the same ones that Indian nationals today are using against other people also. So because some people in that country, or there are a few trends, doesn't mean you have to judge every individual on that basis. Which is why for immigration we are recommending do background checks like how you do for any visa.
ओके, तो थोड़ा सा क्वेश्चन ले लेते हैं. ऑलराइट, सो प्लीज डू व्हाट अबाउट हैंड ग्रेनेड के बारे में क्या? What's your stance on Rohingyas and your founders members remarks on Rohingyas is better than Indians? First of all, that was spoken in personal capacity, और आपका पूरा कंटेक्स्ट नहीं पता. दैट दैट बोजो हर्मेफ्रोडाइट जो भी उसका नाम है, ही इज ट्राइंग टू कॉर्नर अस एंड ही इज अ बीजेपी शिल. ठीक है, वो उसने उसने जो उसके अगर आप रिप्लाई चेक करोगे तो आपको पता चलेगा ही वॉज गोइंग के, ओ देखो कितनी 6% ग्रोथ हो रही है, ओ माई गॉड 160 से 43 पे आ गए, ओ माई गॉड कंट्री सो फ्री नाउ. बकवास कर रहा है वो. ठीक है, ही इज ट्राइंग टू कॉर्नर अस. ही नोज दैट समवन इज कॉलिंग देयर बुलशिट, and he's trying to corner us on a thing that is the official position of the country. Official position of the country यही है कि भाई illegals will be deported, those who want to come legally have to be vetted, we want secure borders, and we want proper law and order. We aren't talking anything new. मगर नहीं,
Yeah.
आपको तो कुछ कुछ imaginary position चाहिए that simply doesn't exist and no one can promise.
Yeah, and the whole thing about Rohingyas is also overblown because a lot of them are actually coming via legal channels, and when at least the government gives them some refugee rights or whatever. And in context of what Rishi is saying, even though he said it in personal capacity, he what he was saying is that Kerala wants immigrants who will come and move there with their families, and that is actually what he meant. It has been taken out of context. He said Rohingyas, when they come with their family and they settle, they don't move. Whereas people from other parts of India come work here and go back, and because Kerala has a lower dropping population, he's like, it's good for us to add more population, and that way Rohingyas are better in the sense that they are actually adding to the population deficit here, whereas migrant workers just come and go. So it is not like he said Rohingyas are superior
नहीं
to
मतलब
people. That was also taken out of
वो
context. Yeah.
ये बीजेपी शिल्स, दे आर ट्राइंग टू कॉर्नर अस, दे आर ट्राइंग टू बेंड आवर वर्ड्स, दे आर ट्राइंग टू स्प्रेड मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, एंड दे आर अवेयर कि कंपटीशन इज कमिंग एंड दे आर बुलशिट इज बीइंग कॉल्ड आउट. अब ये नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है कि Here's my question: to do rigorous background checks and deportation of illegals, wouldn't you need police and judicial reforms? हम उसके बारे में बात तो कर रहे हैं. Proper law and order का
Yeah.
मतलब यही तो है कि भाई we need police and judicial reforms. Proper law and order, secure border, law and order. Law and order means judicial and police reforms. Okay. Next question is. Let the beard. Yeah. So India already has a provision where you can apply for a permit from within Indian police and government agencies, assess the risk to your life, property, and family on basis of which permit is either granted or rejected. I am law student. You should see. I want to know this provision you want to add. हाँ आप लेके दिखाओ इससे पता चलेगा आपको कि how easy it is to get guns. और जब भी कोई gun ownership is not easy. Anyone who owns guns, he knows that how difficult it is to own a gun. तो
Yeah.
ये वो यूज करके कि भी अपना आप हमें बताने की कोशिश करके भी हमें कुछ नहीं पता तो.
No, the thing is, one of the things I just want to add here, it is incredibly difficult in some states to get I mean, it depends on the police, and in many places, unless you're influential and you can show that there is a threat to your life, you will not be given a gun. And like, imagine, like, you are those guys in West Bengal who is basically surrounded by a lot of radical Muslims, and they're threatening you, and there is no way for you to protect yourself because you go to the police, you think that guy is gonna give you a gun license. No, and also you won't believe how ridiculous the laws and the guns are. You actually have to give an account for every single shell. Okay,
Yeah.
so you have to be accountable. Recently, they just arrested somebody because they couldn't produce 3 shells or 4 shells from the amount of bullets that they shot. Maybe they went out target shooting something. Maybe they lost the shells, but the police actually arrested them because they couldn't produce shells. I mean, what sort of ridiculous country are we living in? So definitely, and especially down south in South India, it is really very hard. Maybe it's slightly better. I don't know. Maybe in Delhi or UP, maybe to get guns. But down south, it is extremely regulated, and unless you have incredible amount of influence, you will not be given a gun license. I had a friend who had to, it took him about a year and a lot of influence to basically get a permit.
So law on paper and in the application is really different. We want equality before law. Simple, कोई complicated चीज नहीं. Equality before law. Everyone should be treated by the word of the law. Or if no one qualifies for a gun that and it needs political influence, that means we don't have proper gun rights.
Yep. It is not a right if you have to go and beg the government for it, right? If it is the discretion of the government to grant you, it is not your right, right? It is a right when you have it. Like if the government says, okay, fill up this paperwork and we'll give it, that is fine. But say we have to determine whether or not you get it. We will decide whether your life is at risk. That judgment is not theirs to make. Only you know whether your life is at threat or what risk you have. Maybe you're living in a neighborhood where there are a lot of robberies and you worry about your safety. The police guy is not really going to care about it because what does he lose, right? If you are attacked tomorrow and you die, it won't bother him. But it's your life, your family, your property at stake. So you are the biggest stakeholder. You are the one who really cares about your safety. So you should be not. You should have the right to arm yourself, not the government to decide whether or not you should have it.
Yeah. Next one is what is radical Islam? How to counter it according to you?
Sorry. Yeah, so radical Islam, there are certain strains of Islam where they preach hostility to outsiders and or people of other religions, and they also justify that violence is justified against people of a certain religion, whether they're infidels, maybe they're atheists or something. So this school of thought is sometimes propagated in some religious institution, and that is actually a serious threat. But this is actually what you would think the government, after spending all this money, is doing, basically keeping tabs on where people are being radicalized. And sometimes it's not a very easy solution because how do you actually know where it is happening? But by and large, I think most people have a vague idea about where are the religious institutions where radicalization happens. I think a lot of locals do know, and it is just about building greater community outreach and trying to figure out and nip those early in the bud. And the other thing is there will always be, right, you can never stop 100% you can't stop any sort of radical religion, whether it be Islam or something else. So one is, the people who are at threat should be ready to defend themselves. And also when these instances come out, it should not be that, these people, and also this also has to do a lot with, judicial reforms. There are instances where, people sometimes get arrested on various suspicion, but again, they're out because they're not convicted. And there are other cases where innocent people spend years and years in courts over some trivial shit, but the real criminals are always outside. So this also requires law and order and judicial reforms. Once somebody is proven to be guilty of trying to attack somebody or things like that, they should just be locked away and isolated from society.
Yeah. Please tell us stand both on Muslim population as security. What's your take on corrupt babus? Cut their power and reduce their scope of influence.
Yeah, corruption is merely a symptom of
Yeah.
over-regulation. Because, see, for example, same thing. We just spoke about gun rights. Now, if you had to go to the police and you had to justify to him why you needed a gun, that automatically opened a door there for corruption. Because then you will say, you know what, I'll give you 5 lakh, 10 lakh, just give me my license. And then, he may give you. Same thing with anything, be it a construction permit, be it a license for your doing your business, import, export license, anything where there is a license, that means the bureaucrat has power over you. And when he has the power over you, he has the power to extort you for money. And that is basically the root of corruption. You cannot fix the corruption issue by saying, we're going to have some sort of a morality check and we're going to hire honest people. We're going to fix the government. You cannot fix the government. The government is actually the problem. And the regulations are what are creating corruption. And the more you deregulate, the lesser the scope for corruption. And on top of that, yes, certain law and order and judiciary reforms and more transparency, like better versions of RTI and other institutional watchdogs can help. But the most important thing is that you need to deregulate, and automatically that will cut down the power of the babus as well.
Gold backed INR Swiss style debt break.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Gold backed INR Swiss style debt break.
I think right now to switch to a gold-backed currency is going to be like really hard. And personally, I believe that obviously one advantage with the gold is that the government can't inflate your money supply. But considering the size of the economy and available gold reserves, the cost adjustments and all, I doubt that any country will be able to shift to a totally gold-backed currency right now. What could work in the future is competing private currencies, but we are a long way from that. Right now, if you allow the RBI to just back off from the fintech industry, that itself will be a huge accomplishment. But definitely, from the Libertarian Party, we believe that RBI is also a problem because it inflates your money away, and that is the biggest form of theft. Because even the money that you have in your bank account, or even if you've hidden in your mattress, that is just you're losing 7 to 8% of whatever the inflation rate is. It is a huge problem. Maybe crypto, maybe gold back, combination of currencies could definitely work. The denationalization
Basically,
of money,
basically we are for currency competition.
yes.
So next one is how to fast track court cases.
Okay, so this judicial reforms is actually a very huge and challenging problem. So there are
Yeah,
problems at multiple.
अभी हम उस पे करेंगे डिटेल स्ट्रीम.
Okay, let's do a detailed talk, but there is a lot of issues with how the Supreme Court is basically unaccountable. District courts have a lot of problems. We can do a whole talk on
Yeah,
this at some
yeah,
point
we'll
in the
do a whole
future.
talk. Let's keep the focus of this talk on immigrants and gun rights. तो अगर किसी का इससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन है तो प्लीज आंसर पुट योर क्वेश्चन रिगार्डिंग दीज टू ओनली. Will a legal Bangladeshi immigrant be granted the same rights as natural born citizens like gun ownership? No. As we
Regarding,
said, will a legal Bangladeshi immigrant be granted the same rights as a natural born Indian like gun ownership?
with respect to what context? I mean, if they're doing business, their right to. I mean, it depends very contextually. Obviously, because if it's
Yeah, but I want to clear that they won't be getting voting rights.
Definitely not. Voting rights are absolutely not. I mean, they should not be given to anybody other than citizens of the country. Yeah.
Or limitations on right to defend on what to what extent. Your stance is what makes everything worse, guys. Change that or it's over from many like me. आप जा सकते हैं. Our stance is really clear. Secure border, law and order, legal immigration after vetting and डिपोर्टिंग द इलीगल्स. आप इस स्टांस से एग्री नहीं करते तो आप जा सकते हैं. यू आर फ्री टू गो. ठीक है, हम यहाँ पे आपको प्लीज करने नहीं है. वी आर जस्ट हेयर टू प्रेजेंट आवर साइड एंड इफ यू डोंट एग्री यू आर फ्री टू लीव. बट वॉट ऑप्शन डू यू हैव? प्लीज आई रिक्वेस्ट यू कि जो आपके पास ऑप्शन है, लॉबी देम टू अडॉप्ट प्रॉपर पॉलिसीज. वी विल बी हैप्पी विद इट. I just wanted to know your educational background since you seem to know the finance industry very well. Well, I have done masters in psychology and data science. Your educational background?
Oh, mine. I have a background in engineering, but I've been working across multiple sectors over the last 20 years. So, and yeah, obviously, a lot of things after I got into libertarianism is when I started reading more about economics and trying to understand how money works, how supply demand and a lot of other topics. Got introduced to the Austrian school, read a little bit about the Chicago school. It was
Yeah.
actually quite interesting. Yeah.
आप आई वांट टू से द ऑडियंस, मतलब सारी हॉस्टिलिटी के साइड, ठीक है, कोई नहीं, हमारे डिसएग्रीमेंट्स हो सकते हैं, कोई बात नहीं, मगर आपको इस बारे में हमारा इतना बेसिक एग्रीमेंट तो हो सकता है कि इंडिया नीड्स टू बी प्रॉस्परस, एंड टू बी प्रॉस्परस इंडिया नीड्स टू अडॉप्ट प्रॉपर पॉलिसीज. और यूनिवर्सली इट हैज़ प्रूवन दैट फ्री मार्केट्स आर बेटर देन इंटरवेंशनिस्ट या सोशलिस्ट मार्केट्स. तो जैसे सोशलिस्ट मार्केट्स होती ही नहीं, तो इट इज़ वे बेटर दैट वी प्रमोट इंडिविजुअल फ्रीडम, property rights, have proper law and order, give give the give the citizens a chance to make themselves prosperous. क्यों आप फालतू की इश्यूज में अपना टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हो? जो पॉलिटिशियंस आपको, दैट पॉलिटिशियंस यूज टू स्विंडल यू, और उसके बारे में वो कुछ करते नहीं. आर स्टांस इज रियली क्लियर, इन अलाइनमेंट विद द गवर्नमेंट, इन अलाइनमेंट विद द व्हाट द नेशनल पॉलिसी इज. आप इस बात में कॉर्नर करके आप बस उनको, यू आर दे आर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू बेट यू के these, let's malign them and then bring back our audience to us. They are afraid that we can do caste reservations, we can raise taxes, we can do freebies, we can do anything. Where will they go? मगर अब हम आ चुके हैं. We are here to present an alternative voice. We are here to present a proper voice that understand economics, that understand policies. और एक ground reality पट्टी पढ़ाना बंद करें. We are pretty much, we are from the ground. We have daily interactions, unlike babudam जो कि अपना secured offices और secured societies में रहते हैं and have no contact with the people outside them. तो please,
Almost every day we actually speak to a lot of entrepreneurs. We are actually
yeah,
finding out what are the pain points across
yeah,
different industries, and we are actually also trying to convince them how our policies will help them. So at
yeah,
the part, it's not just that we are saying things. We are actually talking to people. We also have the real free market. We are also trying to encourage entrepreneurs who are basically building alternative markets. So it is not that we are just like doing something on social media. Yes, obviously, I mean, obviously there's no point in doing narebazi right now on the street when we are still a very young moment.
या. और
But
आपको मतलब सिंपल सी बात है, आप एफर्ट मार रहे हो, आप उसी जगह मारोगे ना जहाँ पे आपको मैक्सिमम आउटकम आउटकम मिलेगा. अब हम वहाँ पे जाके अगर 4-5 लोगों से बात करें तो व्हाट वी डिफरेंस डज इट मेक? हियर वी पुट आउट एनीथिंग, हंड्रेड्स एंड थाउजेंड्स ऑफ पीपल लिसन टू अस एंड वी गेट फीडबैक फ्रॉम देम. वहाँ पे हम नहीं कर सकते, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वी आर कमिंग ऑन ग्राउंड एंड वी आर थिंग्स लाइक दैट. वी आर प्रिटी अवेयर, वी हैव अ गुड स्ट्रेटजी. We talk about it all the time. Okay, first we need a big audience, then we'll go offline, and we are working on it. We are having meetups in Pune. We are having meetups. We had our meetup in Gurgaon. Next one is happening in Mumbai. Or you all are invited. Whoever wants to come. 24th July it is going to happen. So please trust us. We are here for the we are here for the we wish the best for the country and are working for it. Other parties and their IT cell are trying to swindle you. They are trying to use your votes just for their advantage. They will impose caste census on you. They will impose private sector reservation on you. They will impose taxes on you. They will make your life hell, and they will jail you for just you. A 19-year-old girl was taken away by Kolkata police for something she's posted on social media. That's the ये ये दिखाता है कि भाई what the priorities of the governments are. Someone cracked a joke on a comedy show and he is being publicly paraded across the country. ये है priorities. तो आप सोच सकते हैं कि भाई हाउ वेल दे आर डूइंग इट. ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस की बकवास करना बंद करें. एवरी वन कंप्लेंट्स अबाउट जीएसटी harassment all the time. Everyone complains about how difficult it is to set up a factory. Everyone complains how we are against cronies, and we are somehow called कि cronies in favor. We aren't in favor of cronies. We are against cronies. The established government seems to be in the favor of cronies. We are for small businesses. We are for entrepreneurs, and we are the moment that suits India's needs the best. And we are not going to change our convictions just because you got ballistic on some accusations. Nahi. Our stance is really clear, easy to understandable. That is actually being implemented. If अगर आपके कोई unrealistic expectations हैं तो नहीं, हम उनको fulfill नहीं कर सकते. We aren't for zero immigration. ठीक है, we are really clear. We are for legal immigration and through proper process and vetting. Promise you will interact with the public even if you come into power. We aren't interested in power. आपने मिले ही I just recommend you all look the miracle that is taking place in Argentina and what Javier Milei is doing. Amazing. Phenomenal. He has brought down inflation. He has brought down poverty rate from 53% to 36%. The country is growing at 8%. He has cut down tariffs. He has cut down taxes. Country is growing when he has cut the expenditure. ये आपने कभी ये आपकी जो कीन्सियन इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ाई हुई है, कैन इट एक्सप्लेन कि भाई कैसे स्पेंडिंग कट के होने के बावजूद इकोनॉमी ग्रो कर रही है? वो आपने फेक इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ी है ना. रियल इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ोगे तो पता चलेगा कि गवर्नमेंट स्पेंडिंग क्रिएट्स इन्फ्लेशन रादर देन एक्चुअली क्रिएटिंग इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ. तो पॉइंट इज के पब्लिक इंटरेक्शन वी आर ऑल फॉर इट. वी आर नॉट पॉलिटिशियंस. अगर मैं पॉलिटिशियन होता तो मैं कुछ डांस अराउंड करता कि भाई नहीं हमने तो ऐसा कहा था, हमने तो वैसा कहा था. Our words come from clear, straight from the mind, straight from the heart, absolutely truth.
Yeah, also just to add on about Javier Milei, you should actually see how people were just saying that, once he comes, he's going to cut welfare and, everybody's going to become poor. And they were making all sorts of stupid predictions. But the economy is growing. And today, the UN, right? The UN chief himself had acknowledged the UNICEF representative, right? He praised Milei saying 1.7 million children have escaped poverty after Milei was elected. And this is after cutting down government, right? Because inflation came down. So whatever they do still have some welfare schemes, but the efficiency of that has actually improved. And 1.7 million children have escaped poverty under Javier Milei. And this is somebody that the left were totally bashing, saying, libertarians will come, cut down government services, welfare, people are going to starve, country is going to become poor. But it has actually been just the opposite, because and he's a libertarian, he's an anarcho-capitalist philosophically. And he's very hardcore and he believes in cutting government like crazy. Literally, he won the campaign because he was going around with a chainsaw saying that we're just gonna cut down the government with a chainsaw. So he was a very eccentric guy, but that was his platform. And these policies actually work. So anybody who hasn't already checked him out should just check what Javier Milei is doing in Argentina. And that is what very similar to that is what a libertarian government would look like. Yes, you might say that the Indian scenario is different on a few issues, but by and large, see, most of the time the government is harassing you; they're not really helping you.
हाँ, और आपको अप्रोच अंडरस्टैंड करने की जरूरत है. वी आर नॉट नाइव. हमें वी नो कि हमें फर्स्ट वी नीड टू करेक्ट द डिस्टॉर्शंस, then we move in the right direction, like Argentina is doing. They haven't
Yeah.
come in and close the central bank first day. First, they need to clear out the debt. Then they'll gradually start curbing it down and shutting it down. That's the Millei's plan. ठीक है? ऐसे नहीं है कि भाई you just come in one day and then close it and then go home. नहीं ऐसे काम नहीं करती चीज़ें. He has been really pragmatic and has actually delivered results. और जब he didn't even have a majority in Congress. मतलब कि उसकी खुद की पार्टी की कांग्रेस में
Yeah.
मेजोरिटी नहीं थी. Still he has managed to pass legislation, which shows he has some political acumen. GST cutting will help poverty reduction. Yeah, definitely. Any cutting of taxes will lead to money being in the hands of the people, which will be better allocated by them as compared to some politician or bureaucrat, some babu or neta. Okay. Please tell three individuals you have taken inspiration from. Javier Milei, Thomas Sowell, Lee Kuan Yew. They are going by the book of Smith, I guess. Nahi. Three three individuals you have taken inspiration from.
Um, okay, that's a difficult question. I mean, libertarian. I mean, I do like, even though he's not strictly a libertarian, I do like Milton Friedman because the way in which he was able to communicate his ideas is, I think, pretty amazing. And then obviously Ludwig von Mises, definitely, and Rothbard, and also David Friedman, who's all of them have like done some really good work. I mean, it's hard for me to restrict it to three because there are a lot more people. I won't say inspiration, but these are people whose ideas are actually so good that I think everybody should read them. And there's a lot of things that you can actually learn from these guys. But right now, yeah, from a political point of view, Javier Milei is the absolute rock star because imagine till he came, like, because, we've been promoting libertarianism for a really long time. And always it's like the same thing. A libertarian, nobody will ever vote for a libertarian, right? And this happened in Argentina. And this is not some classical liberal Milton Friedman type guy. This guy is an anarcho capitalist, a guy who basically believes that the state should not even exist. And this guy got elected in Argentina. And you think I'm actually glad that I got to see something like this before I eventually die someday. That an anarcho capitalist is actually the president of a country. I think that's like so.
या और अगर डेवलपमेंट ऑफ हिस्ट्री के बारे में बात करें तो मतलब कि हर एवोल्यूशन मतलब हर टेक्नोलॉजिकल एवोल्यूशन में इंडिविजुअल हैज गॉटन मोर इंडिपेंडेंस प्रिंटिंग प्रेस broke the power of the church and the internet has broken the power of the traditional media. तो हर evolution in technology, information technology leads to people becoming more free. And libertarianism is inevitable because individuals want freedom. ये fundamental instinct है. Nobody wants to be in a jail. अगर आप बात करो इंडिविजुअल्स डोंट वांट फ्रीडम दैट मीन्स दे वांट टू बी इन जेल एंड नोबडी वांट्स टू बी इन जेल यूनिवर्सली जेल इज अ पनिशमेंट दैट मीन्स ह्यूमंस वांट फ्रीडम opinion on how to keep the smartest people in the country and provide the best opportunities. Providing them freedom, cutting the taxes, having proper municipalities, having having proper law and order, having proper economic opportunities, having a good standard of life. इतना ही simple है. Who wants to leave their family to live in some other country? Who is interested on listening to their bigoted remarks? No one. You have created, but you have created so many problems in this country that if someone wants to have a good life, he feels that my labor is better utilized in some other country, so he goes there. So we need to create better economic opportunities and better living style so that if anyone who works hard can live a life of dignity in this country. That's what we should aim for, and that is provided by economic freedom, individual rights, property rights, proper law and order, proper municipalities, proper governance. These things make a difference. And it is not nothing. It is not complicated. इतनी कोई complicated चीज़ें नहीं है. But politicians are just interested in taking your money and filling their piggy banks. That's it. Okay, so I think it's over an hour now.
Yeah, it's
So
been a
now,
good one.
yeah. So any last remarks? Yeah, sir, last remarks, please.
Uh, I mean, I think we've already reiterated our position very clearly. One is that our position on immigration is actually very clear and consistent with libertarianism. We believe in free movement of people and goods, and as far as security risks are there, no compromise on that. But otherwise, we do not want to hinder the economy. We don't want to hinder the dynamics of trade and business by any sort of restrictions on or any sort of friction, unnecessary friction on movement of labor. And as far as guns, people should have the right to own guns to defend themselves. And we will continue to keep seeing incidents like Pahalgam and what happened in West Bengal as long as individuals do not have the right to defend themselves. This is very important. In fact, it's the most important, one of the most important issues because you see, we will deregulate. Maybe some other government will come, they'll deregulate. All of that is fine. But end of the day, if you don't feel safe in your house, what good is all the money that you have? You can have all the money in the world, but if you're not able to defend yourself and the police are not going to defend you, your life is always a threat. So I think gun rights are very important, and Indians need to sort of warm up and open their eyes. And it's not that just because you have guns, people just start randomly shooting everybody all the time. Yes, crime will happen. Crime happens even now, but at least there you have a fighting chance at survival.
Yeah. So I think we'll end the stream now. Uh,
Yeah.
so thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. I think we have cleared a lot of things, and hope you understand and make the right choice. That's all we can ask for. And
Yeah.
goodbye. See you all next week. Bye bye.
Thanks. Thanks, everyone.
एक मिनट एक मिनट एक मिनट